Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to show you how you can do a very basic data exploration in SAS Enterprise Miner. So as you know, before you start doing any kind of data analysis, it's the first thing that is most important for you to do is to understand the variables, the different levels your categorical variables may have. So before you apply any kind of machine learning algorithm, it's very important that you do the data exploration first, so that you can have some kind of visual observations about some of the patterns, or some of the default patterns your data set may have. So let's begin with the data exploration in the SAS Enterprise Miner. So I already have the data set imported in my SAS Enterprise Miner. If you don't know how to import a data set in the SAS Enterprise Miner, then I would recommend another video where I have explained or given a demo of how you can import a data set in the SAS Enterprise Miner. So in this case, I already have it. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to do a right click on this and do explore. So Enterprise Miner is a little slow, so so in that case, so just bear with my machine. So when you click on the Explore window or the Explore option, you will see another window will open that will look something like this. So over here, or the first window over here, is the sample properties, which will show you, or which will provide you with the basic information about your dataset. For example, in this case, or in this dataset that I'm using, there are altogether 9,686 rows, 28 columns. And then over here, or the one that you should be paying attention to, is the sample method. The default sampling method in the SAS Enterprise Miner is top, and there are two options, the top and the random. So what it does is, by default, it's the top method, meaning to say it will fetch, by default, the SAS Enterprise Miner will fetch 2,000 rows of your data set, and that first 2,000 rows should be can be observed or can be seen in this third window over here. So what you can do is just to see your data set, or to have a look at your data set, we can do random, and then you can do apply. I normally prefer to set the fetch size to max, so that I can take a look at the entire data set. And then I'm going to do apply. So what happens after you click on apply is that this window over here, which is the third window, should give you a view of your entire data set. So that's one thing. And another window, or another window where you should be paying attention to, is the second window over here, which is the sample statistics. If you maximize on this one, I really like to gather information from the sample statistics window, because it tells you a lot about your data set. For instance, over here, it tells you that your data set has 28 columns, or 28 variables, and all of them are listed over here. It also tells you, the label or the description of your variable, the type of the data type of your variable, and it also gives information of the percentage missing in your variable. For example, in the demographic cluster variable, there is no missing data, but the demographic age variable has about 24.8% of the data missing. And likewise, this one over here tells you the min value of your, of that given variable, the max value in that given variable, the mean of that given variable, and then number of levels. So one of the most frequently asked question is, what do you mean by levels? So what it normally means is that, the different, I would say the different sub-levels within your variable are the number of levels. For example, the demographic gender, if you take a look at this data set, this one has male, female, and unknown. For instance, if I minimize the screen, and if I go back over here, which is gender, you will see that there are like 3 levels, that is female, male, and unknown, and that's what this level is all about. So in the demographic cluster, what it means is that there are 54 different levels or different, different, I would say, data types, or the 54 different kinds of demographic data types within this variable. And over here you have the information, the mode percentage and the mode. So this one, I find it pretty useful and pretty informative for the data exploration part. So let's talk about creating the bar chart or histogram or pie chart for your variables. So if you are a student of data analytics, you may know that if your data is a nominal data type or a categorical data type, then the chart that you're supposed to make is the bar chart or the pie chart. But if your variable is a numeric variable or the interval variable type, then you would be making the histogram. So let's say that you'd like to make a pie chart for your categorical variable or nominal variable. So in this case, let's take a look at the gender variable. That is, let's try and create a pie chart for the demographic variable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on plot over here, and then I'm going to go over to the pie chart, click on next, and then you will see in instructions like the variable should be given, or the variable for which you want to create a pie chart should be given a role of a category. So I would like to create a pie chart for the age variable. So I'm going to assign not the age variable, sorry, for the gender variable over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign the gender as the category variable, and I'm going to click on next, and then you could say pie chart for gender variable or something like that. You could also provide a footnote depending on the footnote or the title of the footnote that you want to give for your pie chart. And then you can click on next, and likewise again, you could set this. I mean, this is optional. I mean, you can choose to have it, not have it, but that's all up to you. And then I'm going to click on finish, and that should give me a pie chart or pie chart distribution of the gender variable. So this is it shows that this blue is for female, this one is for male, and this one is for gender. So this one is pretty informative, but what I think is what would be more informative is if we could have the percentage distribution, or maybe the number, a label that would show how many are included in the female population, how many are in the male population. So that is something we could do by right-clicking over here. You could go to the graph properties, and then you could show, click on value and percentage, and click on apply, click OK, and this should give you also the information on the percentage distribution of the variable.